The story I'm about to tell you is not just about success, but about the hidden force that makes success possible. Many people fail in life not because they are not smart enough or not talented enough, but because they never believed they could achieve anything in the first place. Doubt is like an invisible chain that holds people back from trying. And when they never try, they never see their true potential. Belief, on the other hand, is the fire that lights the path forward. Once you believe in yourself, you unlock the strength to face challenges, to endure failure, and to rise higher than anyone thought possible. Emma was a young girl who seemed to have everything she needed to do well in life. She was bright, creative, and curious. Teachers often noticed the spark in her ideas, and sometimes when she worked quietly on her own, she came up with solutions that even surprised adults. But Emma had one heavy weakness. She did not believe in herself. Each time she had an idea, she hesitated to share it. Each time an opportunity came up, she convinced herself that others would do better than she could. Her friends would volunteer to speak in class, while she stayed silent. She would prepare for competitions, but back out at the last moment. Her lack of self-belief began to shape her life in painful ways. One day, her school announced a science fair. Emma and her friend Mia planned a wonderful project together. Emma did most of the design and built the model with great care. But when the big day came, Emma froze. Standing before the crowd, she whispered, "You do it, Mia. I cannot." Mia looked shocked, but carried on alone. Their project, which should have been celebrated, only received a small mention. Emma stood at the back of the hall, her heart heavy, knowing she had robbed herself of the chance to shine. As time went on, teachers grew disappointed with Emma. They saw her potential, but could not understand why she refused to step forward. Her classmates too started leaving her out of group activities, choosing others who seemed more confident. Emma's world slowly grew smaller. She would sit at home, scrolling on her phone, watching others achieve things she secretly wished she could do. She felt invisible, and worst of all, she began to believe she was meant to stay that way. One evening, after another silent day at school, Emma sat in her room staring at her unfinished homework. Her uncle, a retired teacher who lived with them, noticed her gloom and asked what was wrong. Tears welled up in her eyes as she admitted, "I feel like I am not good enough. Every time I want to try, I think of all the ways I might fail." Her uncle smiled gently, the way only someone who has seen many seasons of life can. He said, "Emma, listen carefully. A seed is the smallest thing, but inside it is the power to grow into a mighty tree. The seed does not wait for permission. It does not compare itself to the trees around it. It simply believes in the life inside it and grows. You are that seed. Your ideas, your dreams, your talent are all inside you. But if you keep doubting yourself, you are burying your own growth under shadows." Emma looked at him, unsure if she could really change. She whispered, "But what if I fail?" He leaned closer and replied, "You might fail once or twice or even many times. But belief does not mean never failing. Belief means you keep standing up again because you know you have it in you." To strengthen his point, her uncle told her a story. There was once a young woman named Clara West. From childhood, Clara dreamed of flying planes. She wanted to be a pilot, soaring above the clouds, guiding passengers safely across the sky. But when she told people her dream, they laughed. They said flying was a man's world. They said she was too fragile, too inexperienced, and should pick something easier. Clara listened, but never gave in. She believed in herself so strongly that she studied harder than anyone else. She worked nights, saved money for lessons, and faced rejection after rejection from aviation schools. Still, she did not stop. Finally, after years of effort, she became one of the first female airline captains in her country. She sat in the cockpit with steady hands, leading her crew and passengers with skill. If Clara had listened to the voices of doubt, history would have forgotten her. But because she believed, she changed not only her life, but also inspired many others. Emma listened to the story with wide eyes. She had never heard of someone fighting so hard against the weight of doubt. For the first time, she realized that her own problem was not her intelligence, not her skills, but the simple fact that she had given up before even beginning. She thought to herself, if Clara could face so much resistance and still believe, then what excuse do I have? That night, Emma made a quiet promise. I will not give up before I start. From that day, her actions began to change. The next time her teacher asked a question, Emma's hand trembled, but she raised it. Her voice shook, but she answered. Her classmates looked at her in surprise, and though she stumbled, the teacher smiled. That small step filled her with courage. She started working late on her projects, determined to present them fully. She signed up for the next science fair, her heart racing with fear. But this time, she refused to step back. When she stood on stage, her hands were sweaty, but she spoke every line. The applause she received felt like sunlight breaking through years of clouds. With each effort, Emma grew stronger. She entered competitions, sometimes winning, sometimes losing, but never hiding again. Teachers praised her progress, and classmates began inviting her to join their teams once more. Slowly, she built confidence, not from waiting for approval, but from believing in her own worth. Years later, Emma went to university and studied education. Her journey from doubt to confidence became the heart of her mission. She started speaking to students about believing in themselves. She told them, confidence is not something someone else can give you. It is the gift you give yourself when you decide to trust in your own strength. Her words inspired many, especially those who were just like she once was, full of potential but trapped by doubt. Eventually, Emma became a motivational speaker, traveling across cities and schools, sharing her story. She stood tall on stages, with bright eyes and a clear voice, reminding everyone that the greatest power they hold is self-belief. She often ended her talks with the same line her uncle had once told her. A seed holds a mighty tree inside it, but only if it dares to grow. The truth is simple. Life will test you. People will doubt you. There will be moments when you doubt yourself. But in those moments, remember Emma, remember Clara, and remember the countless stories of people who only succeeded because they believed they could. Believing in yourself does not guarantee an easy path, but it guarantees that you will keep walking, no matter how hard the path becomes. And that persistence, fueled by belief, leads to a life filled with meaning and success. So believe in yourself today, not tomorrow, not after waiting for someone else to cheer you on. Believe now, because that belief is the first step toward everything you want to achieve. If this story touched your heart, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe for more stories, and remember, confidence is the key that unlocks every door.